I saw this thing on Facebook that said, I've never had a New Year's kiss or a mistletoe kiss, but I've had a Hershey's kiss and it was spectacular. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, so I wasn't actually planning on doing a 2014 favorites because I've only been on YouTube for 3 months of 2014, but I thought I might as well, instead of doing a December favorites, just do a yearly favorites. And I only had 20 total products, I think, maybe like 21. So it was actually not that many, which is good. So I'm just going to show you my favorites for the year. I know I haven't been here very long, as I love when people tell me that they've watched my videos and that they've tried something. It makes me so happy. So I really want to thank everyone for watching my videos, and I hope you really do enjoy them. The first thing I'm going to do is start off with face products and face brushes and that kind of thing. I have 2 face brushes and then I have 2 eye brushes, but I'll get to the eyes later. The first 2 that I'm going to share, this is the Sigma F80. If you don't own one of these, where have you been? Like, I feel like it came out, I had one I think in 2013. And I have a couple like different knockoffs. I have a Diva Beauty one that I absolutely love, and I love it because it's rose gold. When I first got the Sigma F80, it was, I think, $18 with shipping. It came out to about $25, which I thought, okay, if I love it, like, that's such an awesome investment, worth every penny. The Diva Beauty brushes are like $12. This brush now will run you about $25, and if you want the rose gold one, it's like $28. Like, it's more. They're the same thing. So if you really want some nice brushes, go for the Diva Beauty brushes. I've heard that Beauty Junkies has really similar comparable brushes as well. They look exactly like the Sigma ones. See, I reach for both of them. I don't reach for one more than the other. I just am obsessed with flat top Kabukis. This is favorite thing to apply foundation, always, forever. It's quick, it's easy, it's so fast, it's flawless. Just do it. Just do it. I feel like I say that a lot in my videos. Just do it. So the other face brush that I'm going to talk about is a powder brush. I use this every single day to set my face powder, and it is the EcoTools Bronzer brush. It's a very tall, short, stiff Kabuki brush. I know a lot of people like really fluffy brushes. I don't for powder. I like fluffy brushes for like bronzer and blush, but I love this for powder because you can really concentrate it and just pack it on, but it doesn't end up cakey. This brush is so soft, so incredibly soft. If you're looking for a good powder brush or a good Kabuki brush, this is an amazing, amazing Kabuki brush, and I don't remember how much it is. I want to say it's about $12. I could be wrong. I think it is one of their more expensive brushes, but it's still so good. And EcoTools, I don't hear about a lot on YouTube, but I really do like their brushes. Next, I'm going to be talking about foundations. I have one drugstore foundation and one high-end foundation. I don't really love either one more than the other. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Loreal True Match. This is talked about a lot on YouTube. It's the best drugstore foundation I think I have ever used. When I was in middle school and high school, I was a Covergirl True Blend girl. And I'll show you this. This is the only foundation I have where the pump is disgusting because I don't believe in that. But this is the Covergirl True Blend. I rebought it about 6 months ago to like try it out again. And I loved it when I first used it. I still like it. Coverage, the finish, I think it's amazing, and it's so thin and light, and so this is definitely my favorite drugstore foundation. I've never tried the Lumi one. I prefer more matte skin and a little highlight instead of just like that super obnoxious glow. Some people can really pull that off. I can't. My skin's a little bit more oily than normal. I would say I'm more normal to oily skin, so I do gravitate towards the regular True Match, but I've never tried the True Match Lumi, so I don't really know how it compares. Next is my favorite high-end foundation. This, I think, was the first high-end foundation. No, I owned one before this, but this is one of the first that I bought. And I actually bought this with a Sephora gift card that I got for Christmas last year, so I've really used it all year. And this is the Nars Sheer Glow. This is in the shade Mont Blanc, which is the second to lightest shade. I didn't realize that when I bought it. I thought it was the lightest shade. Obviously, I didn't rate it, but it was the lightest shade they had in the store, and I got it at the Sephora inside my JCPenney, which obviously has a lot smaller selection. They don't carry the lightest shade. This one works. I often have to mix it with my Loreal True Matte, or I will mix it with my Urban Decay Naked Skin, just so it's a little bit more pink. It's a tad too yellow for me. I've had this a year. So it's incredible. If you're looking for a really good, I'm sorry, the sun is like blinding you guys. If you're looking for a really good high-end foundation, go for Nars. This one I believe is about $40. It might be a little bit more. I think it's less than the Makeup Forever HD. Sorry you guys, the sun. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this foundation. I've used it like 3 or 4 times. Everyone raves about it. I just don't see the hype. I'm sorry. I just don't see it yet. I don't really love the coverage. I just don't like it. It has a more matte finish, and it's not really sheer. So I don't know why they call it sheer glow, but it is beautiful. The finish is so nice. It's medium to full coverage. It's buildable. So if you really want a good flawless face, this is where it's at. So go for this. Next thing I'm going to be talking about is concealers. These are the 2 concealers that I have used, I think, the most out of the year. One's a drugstore, one's a high-end. The first one is Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous Concealer. Because I am so fair, it is really hard for me to find a good concealer for underneath the eyes that will brighten, and this really does. It looks a little more neutral or beige tone on the skin, but once you blend it out, it's very brightening. And I have nothing but good things to say about this. It's about $6, I think. It's pretty inexpensive, but I love it. And I actually, this one's not quite gone yet, but I do have a backup. So I actually have 2 in my makeup drawer. Next is a spot concealer. This is Benefit Boi-Ing concealer. When I first bought this, I hated it. And I don't know why, I just didn't like it. And I've hit pan. This is the second one that I've owned. This is so good for covering up spots. It is called Industrial Strength Concealer, and it is Industrial Strength Concealer. I haven't tried it underneath my eyes. I've heard some people say that it doesn't crease on them. Some people say that it does. To me, it's so thick, like it's scary to use underneath the eyes. So I only use it on blemishes. I do have a little bit of acne scarring or hyperpigmentation that I like to cover up. So this is really, really, really good for that. And this is, of course, in the lightest shade, which is 01. I don't think it has any other shade name than that. I really, really like this. And I have nothing but good things to say about this. This is going to run you, I think, about $20. It lasts a really long time. It's very thick. You don't need a lot. And I use this little tapered foundation brush that I've had for 50 years. And it doesn't have any name on it or anything. I think I got it from Walmart when I was in high school. And it just dabs it out so perfectly. Don't use your finger. It has too much moisture and heat. It kind of defeats the purpose. I do kind of warm it up in the pot to put it on my face. But once I get it on my face, I blend it out with a brush. It just makes for a really clean, smooth application. Next, I'm going to be talking about eyeshadows, and I narrowed it down to 5 eyeshadows, and that was a little tough, but they're all really affordable except for one, and that one is my MAC Bamboo, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a dupe for that. This is MAC Bamboo. I've had this one most of the year as well. I only use this in my crease almost every single day. If you have a darker or more yellow tone complexion, you might like soft brown more. Soft brown was still beautiful, but I liked Bamboo a lot more. And that's what it looks like. A really good dupe for that, a very, very similar, it's a little bit more orange tone, is Ulta Sunrise eyeshadow. It's just a matte, perfect for transition shade. This is actually very similar to Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek, which I do own, but I don't love it because I'm more of a pink tone in complexion. If I were more of a yellow tone, I'd probably like Peach Smoothie a lot more. But this one's really good. Next are 2 NYX eyeshadows. The first one I'm going to talk about is NYX Betrayel. This is a matte chocolate brown. This is so pretty in the crease. I love this shadow. And NYX shadows are really inexpensive. I think they're $5.99. So I think they're like the same price as Makeup Geek eyeshadows, but they're so nice and creamy and buttery, and I love these. The other one is my NYX Whipped Cream eyeshadow, and it is Hit Pan. I use this to set my under eye concealer and to highlight my between my eyebrows and on my chin. I went to Sephora. Most of the girls that work there are very fair skin like me, and I asked one of the girls what a good setting powder was, and she said there's really nothing. And I said, well, I use a NYX eyeshadow, and she said I use an eyeshadow too. So that made me feel really good. This does not crease on me. It's a really fine milled powder. It is a little powdery, but it's not bad. If you are super fair like me, I would recommend this for a really good under eye setting powder. The last two I'm going to talk about are from Makeup Geek. One I have used to death since I got it, and that is Makeup Geek Bitten. This is a reddish rusty brown. I use this a lot in the fall in the crease as a good, you know, smoky eye. It's really good for fall. It just adds a really nice warmth to any look. You have to be really careful with reds on the eyes because they can make you look sick. So this one is just really pretty, and that's really all I have to say about that. And Makeup Geek eyeshadows are the same price as NYX eyeshadows. You just have to order them online, which is a tad bit annoying. One day Makeup Geek will sell in stores. That would be so awesome. Eyeshadow of life in the history of ever, this probably won't come as a shock to you guys, is Makeup Geek Shimma Shimma. And I'm not going to swatch it because you've seen it in like every video that I've ever posted. I don't want to waste it. It's just a perfect highlight. It's beautiful all over the lid. It works on the cheeks. It's very similar to Stila Kitten. L'Oreal Infallible Ice Latte is a good dupe for this. But it's $5.99. Like, I can't. I just can't. This is my favorite eyeshadow of life, and I use it every single day, and I never even realized how much I loved it until I started watching and editing my videos. You need this eyeshadow in your life. Like, you need it. You need it. You need it. Next thing I'm going to talk about are my two favorite eye brushes. They're both blending brushes. They're both from Sigma. And these two came in the Jaclyn Hill Expert box that I got back in March, I believe it was. It was like February, March. And they're both incredible. So the first one is the Sigma E40, which is the tapered blending brush. It's just a super fluffy brush, you know, all over the crease. Blend, 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 blend. I use this every single day. This is my favorite eye brush of life. And if you can get your hands on one, do it. I don't have any that are even remotely comparable. This one is similar. This is the Morphe MB23. It's not tapered. It's definitely a little bit different style. It's somewhat comparable. It is very soft, but the tapered shape really does make a huge difference. So, I mean, these are really inexpensive, and this one was on sale at most, like, I think $1 or something. So, I mean, if you want to try, like, a good blending brush, this is somewhat comparable, but you cannot go wrong with the Sigma E40. I don't even know what the MAC comparison is. I don't own any MAC brushes. I just dropped it. Drop it like it's hot. Yes. Yes. The next one is the Sigma E25, which is just a blending brush. To me, this is more tapered than that one. I don't understand. But it's a little flatter. Here, I'll show you that's the side view of it. And you can't really tell on the camera, but it does have a smaller, denser shape. This is so good for really getting in the crease. I have found an amazing love for this brush. When I ordered the Jaclyn Hill Expert box, it had a mini one. I kept the mini one in my makeup bag, in my purse. And I dropped it somewhere in my car and I can't find it. So that sucks. But this one I use every single day too. I use this a lot in my inner, like in my crease, to do a really good smoky eye. So my favorite eye brushes. Okay, we're like halfway there, you guys. Next I'm going to be talking about powders. I have a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and a setting powder. First thing I'm going to show is my bronzer. This one's probably not a shocker. This is the Sephora Matte Bronzer in Los Cabos. This is supposed to be very comparable to Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I have Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I like this one better. It's a little bit cooler toned, and it's a lot cheaper than Chocolate Silly Bronzer. It's like half the price. So if you're really looking for a good matte bronzer, Sephora does have really nice ones, and this is in Los Cabos. They also have one like that's the same shade with shimmer. I don't like shimmer in a bronzer at all. So this is a really good matte bronzer if you're wanting a nicer bronzer but something a little more in your price range. Next is my favorite blush. This is the City Color B Matte Blush in Fresh Melon. This is obviously a very summery color, spring and summer, but even in just, I have a obviously very fair skin, and I actually used this today, and it just gives the most natural blush. You have to be very, very sparing with it. It is really pigmented, but it's really pretty. And this came in an Ipsy or a Birchbox once, and I think it was February Ipsy last year, and I love it. And I use this almost every single day with the Tapered blush brush. I use the heck out of this during the summer. Like, this is like all I use during the summer. So I have no idea what City Color prices are. The only other City Color thing I have, and you know, I don't even think this is City Color. Yes, it is this white gold eyeshadow base. This also came in an Ipsy. I hate this. The color's beautiful, the texture's awful. I've tried to use it a couple times, and it's just too slick. It's too creamy for an eye base, which you're like, what? But no. But this blush hits it out of the park. I really love it, and I like matte blushes, especially if I'm going to be using a highlight. I really like this blush. Next is my favorite highlighter that I've used most of the year. My favorite powder highlight. I don't have a lot of highlighters, actually. I only have like maybe 3 or 4. I have a lot of liquid highlighters, but none of them I really discovered until fairly recently, so I don't really have a favorite. If I was going to mention a favorite liquid illuminator, though, it'd be NYX Born to Glow. This one's really good. Just a short mention there. But this is the Hard Candy Bronzer in Tiki. It is called a bronzer, but it is a highlight. And you're like, what if I'm really fair like me? It's very scary looking because it looks dark, but it works. It really works. It's just on the top of the cheekbone with a tapered highlighter. And I really do like this. It's, I think, like $9.99. It's around $10. It's the most comparable. Like, I can't find another highlighter in the drugstore that even compares. I do have a Physicians Formula one in Iridescent Pearl, which I have actually depotted, and I have it in a Z palette, which is this one. It's pretty too. It's definitely more of a pink. It's a lot more powdery. You can see a little bit of the shimmer. This I like to apply with my finger. If I apply it with a brush, it's so sheer you can't even tell. So, I mean, I'm going to give this one a mention. This one I think is like $3 or $4 more than this one. This one's like $13 or $14. Sigma highlighters are cheaper than that, I believe. So, just it's all in your preference and what you like. This is the powder I set my face with every single day. This is the Argan Matchmaker Powder Foundation from Josie Maran. It's so pretty packaging. And it's just a powder foundation. I have never been one to use just a powder foundation. I love the way a liquid foundation looks. This, to set my foundation, I use nothing else, and then I just use it with this bronzer brush and just pack it on my face. And I use it every single day. This kind of wasn't a fluke, but it was kind of an accident. I didn't even realize that I would like this. I wanted the Josie Maran Argan Oil, and it was a lot cheaper. I don't believe this is a full size. I think they have a bottle that's a little bit bigger than this, but I wanted this bottle, and it was cheaper to get the set than it was to just get the bottle. And it came with a couple other things, but this one I actually ended up repurchasing. This by itself is like $30. So if you get a set, it's like $60, and it's 3 full-size products. So it's definitely a really good deal. I love this powder. I set my face with it every single day. It has such a nice matte finish, and I haven't found a comparable powder. I don't have a ton of face powders, honestly. I have a Smashbox powder, like a loose powder. I never use that. I don't like it. So, and Smashbox is not cheap. That was like a $60 powder. I don't know what I was smoking. I had a gift card. I did not pay that, but still. And I love this powder. The packaging's really pretty. It's very sleek. It does have a puff in it. I never use a puff. See, it has a, you know, it has two little sides there. I never use a puff, but I do like to keep it in here. And it's just really nice, and I like it. Okay, so eyeliner and mascara. I think I've only mentioned this mascara twice, or in 2 different videos. I haven't really used it a lot on camera, but I did use it most of the year, and that is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I have since found a couple others that I do like better, but nothing that I can really call my favorite yet. I used this one most of the year. And this one's very thick. It dries out very, very quickly, so I definitely have like a love-hate relationship with it. But the brush, it just has the kind of a tapered dome shape, and I really do love this mascara. I think it has fibers in it. It's not marketed that it has fibers in it, but I do think it does. And it just makes your lashes really long and full, and it is a really good mascara. For eyeliner, I have one eyeliner, and this is the L'Oreal 24 Infallible Super Slim Liquid Eyeliner. I've only had this for about 4 or 5 months, maybe. I haven't had it most of the year. But ever since I have gotten into felt tip eyeliners on my waterline, I won't use anything else. Like, I never use a pencil on the top just because it's so much easier. And this one is very super slim. It does have a really nice, it's easy to hold, and you just flick it and it's perfect. I hardly ever do a wing. I do have a little bit of a wing today. I don't know why, but anyway. But this is a really good eyeliner. It's drugstore. It's very inexpensive. I don't own any high-end eyeliners that I know of, except with the exception of the Urban Decay 24-Hour Glide On pencils. But I don't own any liquid eyeliners or felt tip eyeliners that are high-end. So this is an amazing eyeliner. It's really black. It's really smooth. There's not much else I can say about it. Alright, 2 things left. So first I'm going to talk about my favorite product ever, and it's not even technically makeup, and that is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. The first time I bought this, I went for the chill. I'm not dry skin at all, but I went for the chill because it had that cooling feeling, and I love that cooling feeling, so I thought I'd like it. And the lady said, well, do you have more oily or dry skin? And she said, I told her that I had combination skin, and she said, well, you're probably going to want to try this one. I think this is the 4th or 5th bottle that I have bought. I can't go without this. I have a little bottle in my traveling makeup. I have a little bottle in my purse. I don't think, if they stop making this, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's oil-free, paraben-free, temperature-controlled technology. It says to shake it before you use it. I never think to shake it, but I just do like 4 or 5 sprays, and sometimes I really get carried away. Sometimes I'll even do it while putting my foundation on. But I love it, and it has a really nice, clean, very light scent, and it's amazing, and I cannot go without it. Okay, and the last beauty thing that I'm going to be talking about is the Buxom Full-On Lip Cream. This is the 3rd one that I've owned, and I wear this almost every single day. I use this over top of anything that I want to nude out a little bit. If I use a dark lip color, which you notice I don't have any dark lipsticks or anything in this video, I didn't get into super dark lip color until the fall, so I don't really have anything that I can talk about and really say it's a favorite for the whole year of 2014, but this one I have used since 2013. It's my favorite lip gloss. It is expensive. It has a very kind of cupcakey scent, and it's mentholated, so if you don't like mentholated things, you are not going to like it. I love anything mentholated. I'm obsessed with it. And I always have a backup. I have a couple mini Buxom lip glosses as well. This is by far my favorite, and it's just a very light nude pink color, and it works perfectly with any nude pink lip, and it's the best, and I love it, and that's it. It's glowing. This spray is glowing. I think I hate this movie. Ugh, I hate this movie. People in Lifetime movies are insane. Like, this girl comes home and her dad is like a single dad. He has tons of money and he has a girlfriend or something like that. I don't know. But she puts like something in her mascara. I don't even remember. But she puts something in her mascara and it gives her an eye infection. Like, who does that? That's terrible. My best friend was in the Rose Bowl parade. I didn't even see her in the parade because I was sleeping. And then during halftime, I went to get headache medicine. I don't know why it didn't occur to me that they would be in the halftime show. Well, like 10 people, like people I haven't even talked to in like years. Like, oh my gosh, I saw her on TV. And I'm like, I didn't. Yeah, I was kind of annoyed, but whatever. And it wasn't hangover headache. I had no alcohol whatsoever. Like, nothing. So I went to a friend's house and he offered me like 5 different things and I shook my head and then he's like, ginger ale, Mountain Dew, Coke Zero. And I'm just like, no, water's good. And he just gives me this look. I have not been sleeping well at all. The bags underneath my eyes are designer. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. That's from Legally Blonde, the musical, in case anyone was wondering. My eyes look so good today. And it's a shame because I'm not going anywhere. Story of my life. I really need to dye my roots. Everyone's like, yeah, you do. Look at that. I got into a full-on debate with a grown man over Facebook. 22. He's obviously like twice my age. I don't know. I didn't creep on his profile or anything. So I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's at least in his 40s. He just didn't get my funny, which a lot of people don't. So he made a comment about my blonde hair. He's like, you're confusing me with your blondness. Hold up. I am blonde by choice because blondes have more fun. Sit down. He obviously didn't know who he was talking to. Like, hello. Have you met me? Fabulous.